welcome to this brand new edition of Music in My Ears TV on YouTube, where we discuss and tell stories about the Nigerian music scene in the past. Today, we are taking a trip to the oil-rich city of Warri in mid-western Nigeria. For those of us that grew up in the 70s, we are witnesses to regions like mid-western region, which later became Edo State and later became Delta in parts, Edo in parts, but before then they were called Bendel states. So Warri is situated in this oil-rich region, which is now known as Niger Delta, or politically contracted as South-South Nigeria, whatever that means. But all the same, join us as we take a trip to this beautiful city that is also associated with a lots of creativity, lots of comedians, lots of musicians have come out from that same city called Warri. So today we are visiting Warri. And what are we going to do? We are basically visiting to see and hear about a band that was known and called the Aktion, or in another way, Action 13, or in another way, Afrofunk Ensemble. Yeah, Funk Ensemble happens to be one of the biggest bands of the Afrofunk and psychedelic rock era in Nigeria. If you remember, we've been talking about Afrofunk all the while because that was the music, the kind of music that Nigerians rock to. Post-war Nigeria rocked to Afrofunk and psychedelic rock. And we've said it severally, they were actually encouraged by the military. Most of them were affiliated with the military setup, probably to entertain the people and bring succor to those that really suffered during the Nigerian Civil War. So, but Action found themselves out of the what you can still call the southeastern part of Nigeria. They were in Warri for a reason. The reason being that they got this massive contract to become the standing band or the resident band of a nightclub called Xenia Nightclub in the city of Warri. This was basically out of the fact that their first album that was released in 1975 became a massive success, prompting the club ownership to contract them, to be the resident performing band. Way back, um, the club scene was quite different from what it is now. Then you had bands performing in clubs, as resident bands, not because the DJ set was not so much of a thing way back. So it was all about live bands, live performances. So this was the setup that um, the Action Funk or Action 13, as some people call them, were. Really, they are actually originally from the southeastern part of the country, talking about Aba, talking about Asaba, and talking about what we call Akwa Ibom now. For instance, the Siene Pabio, one of their front guy, came from Kodekbene in the present Akwa Ibom state, which was originally part of Cross River or Southeastern State, as the state used to be called then. So that was the way it was. And we also had a Congolese guy in there. So if you just want to check out the membership, you have Ben Akala, you had Rennie Pell, Mosa, you had Lemmy Fate, you had Asiene Pabio, we mentioned him already. You have Siaki George, you have Geoffrey Modabo, you had Frank Abayomi, you had the Ray Smith, you have Kiala Mwafutunga. Kiala was actually, or is actually a Congolese. And you see the way Nigerian music was then, a lot of people came across from different countries, including Congo, Cameroon, Ghana, to make the music industry tick, as it were. So back to Action Funk. Yeah, they were in worry because their first album, Group the Funk, was a massive success. They had hit songs like Tell Me Baby, Group the Funk, the title tracks. They enjoyed good airplay. They taught schools and were all over the place. So this club in Warri found it necessary to snap them up before other people could get at them as resident band. However, the contract was not consummated for certain political reasons. Yeah, it's just about what happened in Nigeria in 1976 precisely. When we had a military coup that we lost the then head of state, military head of state, the dynamic General Muritala Mohammed, which still regarded as one of the best leaders that Nigeria had, though he did not spend much time to really show us what he could do or what he could transform the country to. So General Muritala Mohammed lost his life in the coup. As a result, the incoming government of General Olusegun Obasanjo, we know him, Chief Obasanjo, who later became an elected civilian president. As at then, was the second in command and took over power after the coup failed. So Obasanjo imposed a curfew, a dusk to dawn curfew all over the country to forestall any other occurrences that may be untoward or negative to the well-being of the country. So this is where the group Action Folk were caught in between. And all of us know that night clubbing or nightlife is all about the night and people have to come out. So when a curfew is imposed, it means maybe by 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., everybody has to stay indoors. So this was the situation. Sadly, the band could not fulfill their obligations to the club. The performances were not there. Nobody could come out and attend to club activities, and therefore there were no revenues. The club could not pay them and keep them. The band could not perform. As such, the band had to actually disband. Their, some of them sold, some of their equipments were sold to meet up with the debts or some of their financial obligations and their upkeep. So that was the situation that Action 13 found themselves. But before then, they had released another album in 1977 called Celebration. So Celebration equally had great songs, including Celebration itself and some other hit tracks out there. But the initial album, the first album, Group the Funk, was in 1975, as I mentioned earlier, and was under the Clover label, Clover Sound label belonging to Ben Okonkwo. Celebration was under the same label. So that was the situation. The band was only able to muster 2 albums. But I must tell you that these albums are massive. They are great rock. Action 13 actually should be about the hottest psychedelic rock band to come out of Nigeria. They are really hard hitting. I mean, you need to hold your ears very well. You need to have good ear plugs to be able to stand the riffs, the drums, coming out from the bands. So that was Action 13, Action Funk Ensemble, or whatever names you want to call them. Some of the songs that made them popular includes Sugar Daddy. I've mentioned Tell Me Baby. Tell Me Baby is actually one of the most popular Afrofunk songs that came out from any of the bands in the 70s. You need to listen for people that grew up then or were, of age to understand music. They will actually recollect this. Tell Me Baby. You also have My Baby, in as one of the songs. I really wish that Action Funk had more releases, but for what I've listened to while researching this, the bands was actually great. Really, really great. Really, really tight. Their composition, their flow, very, very tight. So, but what happened to the members post dismantlement. Some of them are still active, like Mosa, you know. Mosa is still active in the music. That's Rene Mosa. I think he had some releases a few years, about a year or two ago. He's still recording again. He's been a great producer all along. Ben Akala too became a producer and actually handled some of their production. Etienne Pabio, well, went into showbiz as an artist manager, you know. I think he eventually retired to Ikotegbene, his home state, in his home state of Akwa Ibom, set up a club, but he's down late. He's he was a kind of family head of the larger Akpabio family in the Sienudom area, which also comprised the current Senate president of the country, talking about Chief Godfrey Akpabio, you know. So he read this map. He took part in the production of Mandators, Komi Basi, Ime Valentine, and a lot of the artists from Akwa Ibom area. I think he really took upon himself to see how he can groom some of the artists from Akwa Ibom and Cross River area, which is quite commendable. So that is it. Most of the members went into other things. Kiala also um, had his own Afrobeat things, working with even Fela at some point, before then branching out for his own recording. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed listening to the story of Action Funk. Do well, do well, do well. The only way you can support us in this quest to document Nigerian music is to subscribe to our channels here on YouTube and the website musicinmyears.com and the podcast on Spotify. Kindly click on the subscribe button. Then I appreciate your comments. Kindly comment to help us improve. If you need to support us, you can send our direct messages. Uh, Angles are there, handles are there. Our website is there. Kindly contact us if you have any support for us. And then again, we'll be signing out. On the description page of this particular recording, I'll be attaching the link to the playlist to some of the compilation of Action Funk. So you can do well to listen to it and actually enjoy what the band had to offer. Thank you so much for staying with us. Until we come out with another great band, stay tuned. Till then.